brings back our same old question. Do we want quality or do we want quantity? We were discussing previously with you about how the preaching should be conducted. Sometimes in our preaching we are focusing on quantity, and we are also getting some quantity. And that takes a lot of effort. For example, in Bogota, we organize a yoga festival every month, approximately. And it has become very popular. Almost 10 to 15,000 people go every month. We have a big stage, and different yoga teachers make asanas, then we have bhajans, then we have everybody. We have thousands of people singing.
I have seen this.
We have many stands where we sell our books and prasadam. It's a big event, and it has become famous. But it's for quantity, not for quality. So sometimes we are spending much energy in order to increase the quantity. But the quality is another. It also takes lots of effort. Maybe we're missing out then sometimes on the quality. Just like when we were discussing initiations, no? Initiations, like, I don't mention names now, but there's this one person, he goes somewhere and he has a few people sitting in front of him, and he asks, "Do you like Krishna?" I say, "Yes." "Come here, take a japa, now you're initiated." So he initiates people who have not even asked for initiation. They are not prepared, they may not follow the principles strictly, but he initiates them. Of course, he's trying at that moment for quantity, not quality. But in his excuse, it may be said that some of these people, because of this moment, become really good devotees. They catch on. They get the mercy like this. This is not Prabhupada's style. Prabhupada's style was you have to follow the principles for 6 months, and then you have to get the recommendation of a Vaishnava. And with that recommendation, then you can get initiation, Harinama. But this other system which I just mentioned to you, or some other standards, like somebody gets initiated but he's still smoking cigarettes, no? So this extreme mercy of some Vaishnavas to give initiations easily, it may be that they do that out of compassion and not out of ambition to have many disciples, but maybe they are doing this out of their compassion and want to give people chance to come to Krishna. Now this is the question, quality and quantity. Well, how much of such mercy is actually blessed by Krishna, or how much of such mercy is a disturbance to society? Like we follow the shloka Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidingvida Aikantiki Hare Bhakti Utpata Chaiva Kalpata. That maybe if we initiate so easily, then it may also become a disturbance to society, which it does. For example, if there's one devotee who's having strict principle, 6 months following strictly, otherwise you cannot be initiated. Then another devotee comes from another mission, and he comes and preaches in the same area, and he applies the system of this openness. Okay, anybody can take initiation who likes, or here take japas. So then the preaching of the other devotee somehow gets disturbed because people go and take initiation that side. I'm just meditating about that sometimes because we spend energy for quantity, but we also want to have quality. How to do it together?
One thing is what we want, prayodhana, what we want. That is depends to our choice. There is the scriptures, sadhu, shastra, guru, vakya, chittete kariya oika. This four is there. What we do, because what we do, this is for beyond these material things,
For this pleasure.
to him.
Yes.
Therefore, we have to, because we don't know what is pleased to him. So, what we receive from our Guru Vargas and Shastras and Sadhus,
We try to follow that.
we, Buddhi, our Chitta, we harmonize this. Chittete koriya oika. Sadhu, Guru, Shastra, three.
Vakya, chittete koriya.
Chittete koriya oika. Oika means one. 3, 4 we bring the decision. One, because there is some differences there. Sadhus, some difference. Gurus also difference. Shastra also difference. We have to bring one point. Then we go, because we cannot go many processes. Many sadhus, they say many things. Guru also not say one thing. They also say many things. Shastra also they say many things.
Maharaj, this is a wonderful answer. I'm very thankful. It's a very beautiful answer. And this is the only answer. Otherwise we create new rules and new regulations which just become impediments.
This is what that is because we can do many things because our senses and minds, they are created for this, to active access. Brahmayana sarva bhutani jantrarudhani maya. Maya jantrani arudhani sarvani bhutani brahmanti. We are moving here, traveling here. We are not here steady to do anything. If we think we are doing, but we are all under control of the time with nature, we are all moving here. So what we say we do, our aim is to free from here, and same time we can help to others to understand our condition, to go there, to understand him, to go to them, surrender to him. So this is not actually a common topic which we can apply to others or we can apply ourselves. It is a very high topic, secret topic, beyond our senses and mind and intelligence, beyond the knowledge also. This is coming by our descending process. So we have to understand what we are doing and where we have to go and what is the process. Then how we will apply this in society. Same time we practice, we are also going, and same time we also help to others to come. Another point, this is basically our own self. We go to help others, they are fire there. Davana, like forest fire there. So when we go to save something, we must also think ourselves, we will burn there.
We have to call to Krishna, who swallowed the Vyomasura fire.
We can call to Krishna, but if we wanted to swallow, then we must have power to swallow. But we cannot swallow, but we are swallowed by the fire, so they call. So this is a depending to their samarthya, ability, eligibility.
Yes.
So this is depending to them.
What is the word? Samarthya?
Samarthya. Samarthya in Sanskrit. Samarthya means your capable
ability.
Ability. This is depending to oneself. How much he can carry. How many we can carry, like someone carry 10 kilos, 20 kilos, 30 kilos, so according to his ability.
Samarthya.
Yes. Then he can go easily, otherwise if he greedy and wanted to take more but he has no capacity, then he lost. So that is another point. To see capability, how I have.
How much am I allowed to carry?
Yes, how I have. This is also we need to discriminate ourselves to decide how and what I can do this also. Another point. Another point is, we follow to sadhu sukhi. They did this. He has done this, he has done this, they have done this. This is point. Yes. How they did, if we follow same, their path, their teachings, then we have to see ourselves. For example, Prabhupada, he is a big preacher, he did so much service. How he did, he has done with his own ability or not? No.
Empowered.
That is, to come to that point, we cannot compare.
No.
Oh, he has done, I can do this. Because this is not such our control. So they have done by Mahaprabhu, by his Guru. It is they done, but not by his own self. They have given this, their opinion, they gave this. I am not doing myself. This is his power. Because they have a realization, they understand this is not mine. This is happening by others. So they have done this, like Bhakti Thakur. He was doing bhajan.
Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta.
Yes. Chanting Satakoti Nama Jagya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu appeared. He told you, come to go to preach. Then he told, no, I have nothing what I can do. I have nothing to do. I will send. So that is
the story.
That is the seed
of success.
Yes, the fruit came. So they realized this. I have not done this. actually done by this. But they surrendered there and they took this responsibility because they got received directly from Mahaprabhu. So in this way, in life, what we do and what we receive, we have to understand how much if with greedy or for name, money or fame or these are the many obstacles in this world is there. If some goes to make disciples, but who is the disciples? Many ghosts will come like disciple and Kacha. We saw many disciples happening this and now. Many big here sadhus, Baba self manifested God. Millions disciples, now they are all suffering in the jail. Their own disciples put in jail. So need quantity, okay, you are hungry, you want to eat proper food, quality food, quantity you want to eat, then you become ill, you will suffer, the result will come. Suffering will come. Maybe now eating, not understanding, but when you go inside, you go to liver, then liver cannot digest, then get pain, then you...
But Maharaj, I understand what you say there, but I was actually referring strictly to Gaudiya sadhus, Gaudiya gurus, because in the world of pleasing the world, say, oh, you can do anything, come and take my mantra, no restriction, and that many people do have big followings, but those people we are not taking so serious, even though happens what you say, no? Become famous, become rich, some go to jail even, but they are not preaching Krishna Bhakti to anybody. But I'm talking about those who are actually trying to follow our Guru Varga.
This is also
within this one,
okay.
But you gave the answer. You gave the answer, and you gave a very good answer. I find it very inspiring and very safeguarded. A safeguarded answer means it actually helps a person to come to the right conclusion. Meaning, A, you have to follow your heart, chitite, after considering Guru, Shastra and Sadhu, and you have to watch your own ability, your eligibility, and you have to understand it is only for his sweet will. It depends on him, it doesn't depend on you either. I think that sums it up very good. Otherwise the world is full of stories.
Yes.
And those stories have no beginning and no end, practically.
Always.
Just like politicians, rock stars, they also have such a big following. Some people even, like a rock star is coming to town and all the girls are in the airport and some of them faint when he comes.
Yes.
Some of them get heart attack.
Yes.
So it's so crazy things, but that's there.
Yes.
Even sports persons,
Yes.
they enjoy so much fame and all that.
Yes.
But that's not the... In Vaishnavas, I mean, the quantity and quality question is there because sometimes you see a person is making devotees, but amongst his followings, not everybody following very strictly. But he's still pulling them with him. And then later, some of them follow strictly. So in this way, it's a question of approach. Just like we were discussing how in the preaching in India, that it is so different, like that people are allowed to come to Krishna consciousness even though they make their money in some business which involves breaking the principles. That's for me, that was like something I could not understand. I could not assimilate. I said, if you want to be Krishna conscious, you cannot be associated neither directly nor indirectly with any breaking of principle. But then I saw in India that is not being practiced like that strictly, that some people here have a business or the family business which may be involved with gambling or something. Like I have one case in Colombia. This man, he's a friend of the devotee, and he owns a gambling business. Like they're buying gambling, lottery. So this man, he donated for us to print the Ramayana, the big Ramayana book. He donated probably $10,000 or $15,000 to print this book. But the money is coming from his gambling business, no? So in this way, this for India would be nothing. Okay, no problem. But in the West, with our narrow mind, we think, oh, this is objectionable. So in this way, like this man, he never took initiation. He wanted to take initiation, but we didn't give initiation because he's getting money from gambling business.
This is what in India, why they accepted that person and his money in India make them, they are one class, not equal. With sannyasi, brahmacharis, householders, it's not equal. They are one social class. We are one class.
Srila Prabhupada used to call them Vaishya Rishis.
Yes.
Those who can make lots of money in the material world,
yes,
and they give good donations,
yes,
then he called them Vaishya Rishis. And I don't think he looked very closely what business they were doing.
Yeah, that is this the business.
Like one of the big supporters of Prabhupada in Mumbai, his name was, I forget right now, famous man, and his business was importing petrol, oil into India. So a big business person with he did lots of service. He became initiated by Prabhupada.
Scindia?
No, another one. I'll remember it. I met him personally, a very nice person, but business was oil. Now, oil is not breaking the principle, but oil sometimes makes oil spills and killing thousands of fish and things like that, no? Oil is also a problem. Anyhow, many cases like this, I think we have it clear. In India, there is a class of devotee, they can also be initiated, but they may not be so strictly in what they're doing. And you see, for us, well, why say us? For myself, I can better say. We have a fanatic approach. What is a fanatic approach? Anything to do with killing animals, anything direct or indirect, get out of my way. I have nothing to do with this. But then there's this one lady in Costa Rica. She's a very nice devotee, very deep in the heart. But she has a boutique selling leather items. So she's making good money, maintaining her family, giving donations, but selling leather items. So then, even 10 years after, she's still not get initiation because she's selling leather items. So this is a kind of fanatical approach I applied. Now I understand that in India it would not be applied like that. Which is, if you're not applying this fanatical way, then you can preach to many more people. Again, you will get more quantity.
Quantity also we made class.
Yes, the class is going on naturally. Sannyasis, brahmacharis, pujaris, temple residents, they always have a different class by their lifestyle.
Among the devotees, among our Vaishnavism, there are classes. If we maintain classes, they are one class. That is second class. That is Daiva Varnashram. That is Daiva Varnashram. Without doing any violence, how no one can make money, they cannot maintain, they cannot do business, they cannot do any farm, they cannot do. If you go to farming in the plough, you are killing animals. When you go grow up, your corn or any fruits come, many animals come, insects come to eat, they will destroy, you cannot get anything. If you cannot protect, you cannot kill them, so you give something to save. So all, in this world is full of this Rajaguna, Tamaguna, Sattaguna, Kala, so no, nothing is there. Even from Mahabharata one day we discussed, Yudhishthira Maharaj did not want to be a king, to take the throne because there is violence there. So by violence I cannot get free. After killing me, this billions people, this in Mahabharata, he took himself, I am the doer of this battle, these things. Then there are many discussions came, Arjuna, Bhima, Kunti, Draupadi, Vyasadeva, and Krishna himself. Then he went to also. There is a discussion. If you say, if I take some honey, how you will take honey? This is Amrita, 5 nectars, you are worshipping for that. You are killing the bees, and there is hinsa, violence there. Also in milk. Okay. So what we discussed?
Well, we were discussing the level of how you divide society.
Yeah, that is only necessary to keep them category. Ladies section, labor section, business section, literate section, who have scripture knowledge, studying this, that. They can give them good guidance, give them proper scripture evidence, so they can. We need all these sections, divisions. If we make this way, then everything is there. Without violence, nothing is happening in this world. But we don't want to make violence like this. But who are working in the field, they will do. For example, one pujari is doing puja, so he have to clean. So he have to do this. Otherwise, you cannot live in this world. This is full of this
insects.
This is full of this, inside, outside, everything is full of jiva. But we don't want to harm others, give pain like this way. So everything is there to understand the reality.
Sometimes we have restaurants, then the government inspector comes and he sees some little cockroach. Then he says, you have to spray this, fumigate against all the insects. And then the devotees have big problem. How can we kill all these insects by putting poison spray? No, but if not, the government can also close the restaurant. Oh, you have too many. So, or rats. For rats, for example, whether you killing the rats, How can you do that? We are devotees, we are not killing rats. So this type of problems many times the devotees have had. Also myself, I must admit, I didn't have a clear picture what can be done and what cannot be done.
We have to be reality.
We have to be?
Reality.
In reality, yes. Yeah. No, agriculture is called a violent process. I forget the name, but that there's natihingsa, necessary violence in agriculture. And that is understood. That if you
where is not violence?
Where is not violence? Well, in distributing books.
No violence?
No.
You are how you make the book?
If I use recycled paper, then
how you make the paper? How you make the paper?
By cutting trees.
That is also violence.
Uh-huh. Yes, you're right.
So without violence, nothing here. But there is to understand for what purpose we use this.
Mm-hmm.
That is the process is karma. This karma is gahanagati, very complex, not easy to understand.
No, the whole thing is not easy to understand. Yes. I totally agree with you. Because our thinking of duality, it's black or white. We don't have many gray zones in Western thinking. Even in my own thinking, there was not many gray zones. I recognize this. This is not what the acharyas have practiced. It is more. This is like wanting to be better than the best. You understand that?
Again?
Is like wanting to be better than the best. The acharyas, they're the best. They have done in this way and that. And now if I want to do it even better than them, it's also crazy.
One thing is, according place, person, time, circumstance, we have to apply the principles.
Yes.
This is necessary to be intelligent.
This is shloka. Jena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshaya. Yes, that is coming in here, no?
Desha kala supatrajya.
Desha kala pat. Right.
Otherwise, in scriptures, they don't tell to have a spiritual master. Why give such importance? Individual spiritual master. Why necessary? Scripture is there, everything is there. Because according one personal condition, social, financial, family, health, mind, one must tell to what he can do, how to practice Krishna Bhakti. We say, okay, these principles for everyone. This is nonsense. This is not.
But there is a mental blockage, which is like, I remember that when we first came to Bengal, followers of Prabhupada Bhaktivedanta Swami, we heard that in most of the Bengali houses, even devotee houses, very likely you can also find some fish. So we became shocked. Oh, they're eating fish sometimes. And what was our reaction? We are better devotees. And we looked at all the people like, oh, it's like so quickly polarizing and, oh, they are less than me. I can see that. And there's some fish in somebody's house, who cares, but they are practicing, they are trying to get out of this. Maybe some family member is not yet ready. No? Well, why make a big deal out of it? Or somebody is still smoking, or somebody is still doing this or that.
Something is little empty, little knowledge, dangerous something with some word there.
A little knowledge is dangerous.
Empty, sounds well, say something they say in this proverb.
But Maharaj, honestly speaking, because of my fanatical way of doing things, somehow or other, still we got some success in spreading and making centers. But if I would have applied this open spirit, the success would have been much bigger.
Success also we need to continue generation. How they continue this, otherwise we make something and after some time it's gone. Maybe one generation is gone.
That can happen, whatever Krishna wants.
Krishna wants we have to think first. We have to give this there also for their future. Now we did something. We got some followers or some disciples or practitioners go. But we have to think that they follow our life and after generation also they accept this.
Yes.
This is also we have to think this.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But if you go to Vrindavan, you see Radha Govinda temple, those big temples, they're just abandoned monuments. But the Krishna consciousness is alive.
Yeah, that is...
These old buildings, they're just sitting there, but the Krishna consciousness is alive.
Krishna consciousness will always before
alive.
And present, past, future always.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So sometimes we are in limited conditions. And I can see it is not easy to decide, but you have to always decide. Now I understand what the Indian Vaishnavas, they are more wise about these subjects and they have applied it. And we have mistakenly, I'm talking about the Western devotees in general, a little bit. We have mistakenly thought that maybe that was a lower quality of preaching, but actually it is the wise way of preaching, not less intelligent. And on top of that, the Western devotees, in their practical life, they are also not following all so strictly. So what they criticize in others, they themselves are doing, so it is all nonsense anyway. Any real good strict devotee is the one who is advanced. And those who are not advanced yet, well, they're not going to be so strict. But we are trying to encourage everybody to go to the light of Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. I get it more clear. It's important. For example, when Harijan Maharaj, my godbrother, was preaching, he was still alive. He used to be like, more heavy than me. He was very heavy. Like one disciple of his, he divorced his wife and married another girl. It's very common in the Western world. So Harijan Maharaj told him, I never want to see your face again. So Then I came and I preached to him, come back, it's okay. You did something wrong there, you have a different wife, but let's go on preaching. No? So then I had to preach to Harijan Maharaj, give him another chance, because he was a disciple of Harijan Maharaj. No? I said, Harijan Maharaj, please give him another chance, he's trying, he made this mistake. So they have something in the West, they call it the good police and the bad police. Like when they want to get the truth from some criminal, one policeman says, beats him, I kill you if you don't tell me the truth. And then he goes out, then the other policeman comes and says, it's okay, just tell me what's going on, let's cool this down. No? And then if he doesn't say anything, the bad policeman comes back again. This is called the technique of the good guy and the bad guy, no? To get something. So a little bit in our preaching, he was the bad guy and I was the good guy to get some progress in our preaching.
Necessary, like family, mother and father.
Yes, they also do like this.
And this father will want to chastise, so mother will give love.
Yes, very true. This is very, very necessary sometimes. This psychology, educational psychology.
It's practical.
So somebody in class gives, if you break the 4 principles, then you will never go back home, back to God. You have finished. And then in practical life, oh, you made some mistake. Come, take some seva. Because our only hope is if the Vaishnavas give us seva, right?
Yeah,
no seva to Vaishnava, we are lost.
One thing is, in our practice and preaching, we have to always think both. Achar, prachar. If we don't practice, then practice means not same. By our practice, we are elevating. We are going up. So our preaching also change. What we preach before, after some years regarding realization, preaching also change. Harikatha also change. Principles also change. Principle is not one. Harikatha is not one. Bhakti is not one class. There are many classes there. Harikatha also classes there. Discussion also different there, realization also different there. When we came first beginning to the mart to join with this temple like this, when before we are in living society, we are different. When we came to temple, then we shaved the head or take the cloth or become like this. We think I became pure. Because that life was keep giving different life, different association, different thinking, different come. When we come to change something, then we think I became pure because he gets some change. Then he wanted to preach others and teach others that you have to do this. This cloth, shaved head, tilaka, this is all our practical thing. You have to do this. If you don't do this, you are not pure. If you do this, you become pure. Because his realization, experience is just he came out from a sinful activities or taking someone drugs, for example, smoking. So he was suffering there with illicit sex, this suffering there. When he came to understanding another life even came, then he stopped. He think I became pure. So he started to preach this. Others, now you have to free from this, you come, they preach. But this is just beginning. For example, students, when they go to school, the children, when they go to school, they don't want to go to school actually. They want to play. Go to sit with 3 hours or 4 or 5 hours with this.
Terrible.
Terrible. They cry, they don't want to go to school. So what do they do? Then they make them how to go with the love, they give this, that, they don't teach anything to them, just how to come to school. Then they gave father, mother with love, go, this, that, they do. Then he wanted to go there. And after he go to there, he got some friends, so he changed his mind to play with them. After some times, then teacher told, oh, you have to study. He gave this sweat to study this. And this is also a big problem to see them. Then he started to A, B, C. Okay, you have to study this A, B, C, D. Okay, when he studied this with many days, he practiced this. When he practiced this, then oh, you are good, you are right, you will full mark is came. Or he think my education is completed. Then he become proud. Oh, whenever he get to, he write ABCD, ABCD. Then after some time again they give another
lesson.
Okay, E, F, G, H, like this. Then again go to the words. Then go to never end this.
Never end.
So practice and preaching, we have need both. Without practice, we go to preach, we lose our progress.
Our progress.
And preaching also we lose.
Mm-hmm.
Preaching and preaching is coming by realization, not by only something principles it is preaching. Harikatha also preaching with same Harinam. First beginning what we practice, but later on same Harinam when we chant it becomes different realization. Same Harikatha when we study Bhagavad Gita, beginning you have what we were studying, but after 20, 30 years, 40 years, it is same subject there, same there, but going realization different, going so deep. So practice and preaching both necessary simultaneously to understanding our own.
And sometimes some people only do preaching, and sometimes some people only do practice, and neither of these work.
That is,
They have to be both there.
that is both the one or others, they miss something.
Yes.
So this both necessary.
Yes.
And preaching, before preaching, they need practice. Acharat prabhavodham. One thing is sometimes Guru says, you go to preach. And he follows Guru's Vakya. So the Guru's Vakya, when he followed his Nishtha, his
Guru Nishtha is
Guru Nishtha
important.
is also one kind of a practice. But if Gurudev told, okay, you read and preach, then another point came. Always they say this, you go to book distribution, but you read this. They did not say you don't read and don't distribute, make money or business. They don't say this. Because of our line is coming by a parampara, succession, process, disciple succession, the meaning is in there. In each initiation time, they say you chant without offense, nam aparad, everything is there. But we don't go to realize this, really point this. It will come by time, practice, because time who are coming by the past sanskara, past life, they get easily, quickly. They understand because of past sanskara there. If someone come now, so it will take time to them to understand this. But there is another abstraction there. If they affected to fame, name, money, follower, this is because ego is there. Ego and mind is there. And also to competition with others, then jealous, enviousness, these come arise. It is also problems there. Easily they are affected by this. And if they see something, somebody doing this, that, they become angry also. So this is also to realize, if without practice, very difficult to understand what is going on inside. So there is some risky to divert from the process. Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Shakha, Upashakha.
What means Shaka Upashaka?
Branch, sub-branch of the creeper, Bhakti Lata, the creeper of Bhakti. This Shakha branch, sub-branches will appear from the main root, main branch. So that it will come, then it will come. All energy, what we practice, Ravana Kirtan, what we do, all energy will they take, and main branch cannot grow up. So they can make their own growth. They make branch, sub-branch, main branch, they make many, they come. This is the Pratishtha and Jivahinsan and Kutinati. Kutinati, you know, Kutinati.
Remind me.
Kutinati means speaking against someone, background, Kutinati, something, duplicity.
Now I have a question, Maharaj. In our temples in Vrinda, I have insisted to the devotees, for years and years, that you have to have the lectures for the neophyte and you have to have lectures for the advanced devotees. Because if you have the lecture only one, there's always newcomers, so you always have to talk on neophyte level so that the newcomer can understand. But for the elder devotees, this newcomer class is getting boring. Again and again and again, the same story, the same example. So I always told them we have to have two classes, one for the advanced and one for the low. But very rarely did I convince the devotees to actually do it, to actually have two classes. So in this way, like I know some of the people in your mat. Give you one example. Srila Maharaj. Your Srila Maharaj, he did not study his Krishna consciousness by listening to the neophyte classes. Maybe in the beginning he also did, but he took many advanced classes, special study. You also sent him for Sanskrit studies to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and now he's very profound and good preacher. But like this is, we have failed on that, to provide the advanced teachings. We provide the ABC, but we don't provide the advanced teachings.
Therefore, I was saying before, to give one who have a sanskar, they can go to study to understand the reality. More advanced things, someone other. Everyone cannot do this.
No, it must be advanced devotee.
Must some sanskara, brain, necessary.
Yes.
If
often,
we teach,
it is not available many times.
Yes.
Absolutely.
When we see someone have, we have to feed them.
And then they
can catch this.
And then they can also become proud.
That is another point. That is another point, surety is there. But if we will become proud, then we will not give. Is it not also?
Yes, we have to adjust.
Every time there is some risk is there.
There's always risk.
Yes.
I totally agree. There's always some risk and always some loss and always some gain.
In this world everything is there. But if someone attain one strategy and become proud, after some time also he will lose this power because he will get also reaction.
Yes.
So it is also, there is to purify themselves, to understand themselves, there is something in there. So this world is very complex, complicated. This is not actually one single line. It is not easy, it is.
One time I was in Vrindavan and Atulananda Acharya, he has one son. His son may be 17 years old, and his mother is going to hear Katha from Narayan Maharaj. So this son, I tell, come to the West, because a very good boy, he very intelligent, say, come to the West, in 1, 2, 3, I make you a leader of the preaching. Because sometimes we have very young people like Vrindavan becoming leaders. Then one lady, devotee, I think Krishna Priya is her name, in Narayan Maharaj camp, she heard that and she told him, no, you have to study at least 16 years before you can go and do some leadership thing. So you don't follow Paramadvaiti Maharaj, you stay here and do 16 years of study. Like this she said, and because of the mother influence, he did. He stayed there. So that difference, like extreme. I was going to make him a leader immediately, and there he was told, no, you need at least 16 years of full-time study and practice before you can do prachar. So it's an extreme example, no? But Deshakalla Patra.
So what happened to him?
What happened to him? I don't know exactly right now. But he's still a devotee.
No, he's been down?
No, he didn't study 16 years. I think he would have been better off with me at that time, but the influence which was there. But this is the way they were preaching, and this is, to a certain degree, what happened. People were in ISKCON, they gave everything. Prabhupada left, then they saw that the ISKCON leadership was not managing things very maturely. They made many mistakes. So many, especially Americans, they came to the idea that there is only one guru, Prabhupada. Everything else is not worth much. So we are following the Prabhupada only guru concept. So they practiced that for many years, that thinking, and they became very dry. Because Prabhupada is the only one, but Prabhupada is not there. Then they became dry and dry and dry.
That is which year?
Oh, you could say 77 to 87, 90, many years. And then Srila Narayan Maharaj showed up. And then many of these dry Prabhupada or people like them, they went to Srila Narayan Maharaj. So they changed, because there had been Prabhupada is the only one, Prabhupada is the only one, Prabhupada is the only one. That was so strong in their heads. So then they changed to Prabhupada and Narayan Maharaj, they are the only ones. Prabhupada and Narayan Maharaj, they are the only ones. That was in their brain stuck. Now these people, when they came to Narayan Maharaj, now they are not young kids anymore. They're all in their 40s or 50s. Now they preached many years, and then with Narayan Maharaj, they only did one thing: make money, come to India, do Braj Mandal Parikrama, or travel with Guru Dev some things, go back and make money. But they didn't open temples, they didn't do anything, but that was there. But in that time, they studied a lot. They did a lot of practice, but very little pracha. For many years, and they also became proud. Oh, we have now so much knowledge. We have rasic knowledge. They learned many shlokas. But they didn't open any temple. They didn't do any practical work in the world, because they were not in ISKCON. They were just with Guru Dev and going to India and going on parikrama, and go to parikrama 1, parikrama 2, all their money was gone, so then they had to go back to make more money. So there was no prachar, except the Narayan Maharaj Sangha was growing and growing and growing, was becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, no? Because the Narayan Maharaj Sangha had one thing: enthusiasm and belief, Guru Nishta in Narayan Maharaj. So much Guru Nishta that they became offensive to others, that they neglected the other Vaishnavas. But their Guru Nishta, we have the pure devotee, we have the pure devotee. Anyhow, so it was growing, the Sangha became quite large, and now you see it's broken into pieces, but the pieces are still quite strong. If you look, this piece, that piece, because many devotees, but rarely you have not seen that from Narayan Maharaj's Sangha, one of the break-in, they are now opening temples. Now they have to, because they don't know where to go. They always come to me. I have had so many disciples of Narayan Maharaj asking, can we preach in the Vrinda centers? Can we preach in the Vrinda centers? Even today, almost every day I get requests. And sometimes when they come, they create disturbance. And sometimes nice people, they're helping, they're good. So in a way, what we can say that there has been a transition for the Western devotees. Because, Srila Narayan Maharaj got a lot of good old people. Otherwise, in the US, the ISKCON temples became very empty. Only Indian people used to go there. They didn't make hardly any white new devotees in the US. All the old devotees went away from ISKCON, went to Srila Narayan Maharaj, or went back to the material world, and even inside ISKCON, the American devotees left America. They went to Russia or to India, and they were preaching other places because it was so frustrating what's happening in the US. If you were growing like this, and then all of a sudden, that is a very frustrating experience. So many of the old devotees, they went to other places. So even today, this is a situation. America has suffered the most in that sense. And you see, like people like Bhaktadas, if he would be in ISKCON, he would be a GBC, he would be a big preacher, no? But he's not there. Only by your grace, he is doing some service and connection. Otherwise, he's playing golf, wasting his time. Guru Kripa, wasting their time. Because they were used to be member of the big institution, now the big institution is gone, so what they do? Well, I was a sannyasi and I left ISKCON with a group of devotees. So for me, my normal preaching life never stopped. Even though now I was not in ISKCON anymore, but I still had to maintain the temples, I still had to print books, everything went on. No? The new mission started growing. And in South America, the atmosphere, you could say that in South America, the atmosphere, even today, is a little bit like in the 60s in the US. Happy Harinam every day, going to the temple, making deity, worship. It's like in the 60s. Also in South America, our devotees, they hardly know anything about the problems of ISKCON and that, because we never tell them the difficult things. They don't know. They only know Srila Srila Maharaj helped us. Srila Puri Maharaj is president of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha, wonderful devotees, and when we go to India, we meet the Gaudiya Math. That's what the Vrinda devotees know. And of course, when they go to Vrindavan, they also know the MVT. What's that, MVT? You know MVT? The restaurant? That they also know.
They know, they will know also, but they will not know. Some are seekers, they know also the past history also, but not
some, but no, really not.
Not everyone.
And you see, Maharaj, we don't know also. We are also protected.
We haven't known also these things.
No, you have not.
When we have not gone to the Europe, West, we never known what happened there. We didn't know.
We have no idea what happened.
Nowadays, this Facebook, this email, internet became...
Slowly people get more informed.
Well,
you know what is one of my biggest protections in the Vrinda mission? Biggest protection is that we are speaking Spanish. We don't speak English.
Yeah, that you never understand because...
So our devotees don't know all the problems and they don't care. They don't know English to know all the headaches, so they just stick and to do whatever they have to do.
But now many people know.
Huh?
Now many people know because now many people coming, many devotees coming to India.
They will know.
Slowly, no, I have not hidden anything from everybody. I wrote a book about the history. But in the practical thinking, they don't think about that.
If they know also...
You know who is Harikesh Swami? You never heard Harikesh Swami?
Yeah, I know people.
You know a big guy. He was one of the big ISKCON leaders. So if you say Harikesh in ISKCON, everybody goes, oh my God. If you say Harikesh in Vrinda, you say, who's that? No idea. That's what I mean. We are not... We didn't suffer that depression of the great failings within the institutions, because the devotees, they come from a different institution. Our devotees are not coming from ISKCON. They're from the Vrinda family, and so they have a different history. And South America is a different spirit. That's why I say, in South America, in some places we are like in the 60s.
Also, if they know history, they don't give importance, they give always to know present.
Yeah, that's also...
It's history, history is there, but nobody go to history to bring that in practical.
No, it's right.
History is history, but always depends.
For them it's not important.
Present is necessary to... Present always give us how we are now, with whom and what we are doing. They give they like history is history.
Like our Damodar Maharaj in Chile, After 30 years, he's still going out every day on Sankirtan, on Harinam, singing in the streets. After 30 years, still going on. That means in Santiago, Chile, there's probably more Harinam conducted than any other city in the world. Because they go out every day and singing the holy names of Krishna in the street.
Yes. It will go on, Maharaj, it will go on. Krishna's responsibility, and it is Radharani there. So Krishna is there, they want to give, they will give in different yugas, in a different incarnation, different bhakti, different, this bhakti is now available in Kali Yuga. It was not in previous yugas. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu before was not there. So it will go on. Never stop, because Krishna is doing everything, and everything is his control. So we don't need to so much worry for that. But we will see how much we can practice and what we will do it healthy, without.
Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol. Jai Prabhupada.